But before we kick off, Richie's just going to say a few words on behalf of the squad. Richie?
Yeah, it's a really tough time. Obviously, we're massively disappointed to hear of the passing of Max Wall and Andrew O'Donnell, two boys from St. Michael's. We have a number of St. Michael's guys here in the squad who know them well, and as I suppose a father of kids around that age, and an Irish man, I feel really disappointed for them, and we'd like to offer our condolences to the Wall and the O'Donnell family.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Richie. Thanks for that. We'll kick off now. Anne-Marie, do you wanna start us off?
Yeah, no worries. Hi, Richie. How are things?
Hi, Anne-Marie.
So 11 changes. Could you just talk us through the thinking behind that?
Well, it's a case of needs must. We've been playing pretty tough fixtures over a 5-day turnaround, so on a very, very heavy pitch. So we've got we're in a sort of position where we felt that we need to rotate the squad. We brought 30 players that we're confident we're able to fit into our team, and we're able to play the game at the level that we need to play it. So our focus is very much to make quite a number of changes in this round, in order to, one, we obviously have to win the game, but if we win the game, we know that we'll get into the semi-final, and that's very much the focus.
I know there's quite a lot of permutations about how you make it through to the semi-finals. The England-Australia game, I think, kicks off a half an hour after your win. Will you have an eye on that? Will you have somebody at it, or how are you going to manage it?
We'll just keep an eye on it. There's nothing we can do about that. So, what happens. Our job is to win our match and focus in on, moment by moment, just trying to build, a winning performance against Fiji. We know that if we win, we will end up in the top section, and that's where we're targeting.
Lastly, then, just how impressed have you been with all the lads so far, and what's the mood like now? They've taken a lot of confidence from the performance against Australia.
Yeah, it's funny, these guys, they're hungry, and they're always hungry to get better. So, the English game, I suppose the feeling after was a little bit of frustration, so that sort of drove us into that Australia fixture where guys knew that sort of last chance saloon. So we know that all the way through from now on they're all must-win games. So, the Irish sort of system helps us in that regard, because, the guys play highly competitive games from a young age, which normally is cup rugby. So we feel like we're in a good place in relation to that. It's just very important that we concentrate on the job in hand, which is Fiji. Fiji against England were a very different side in the wet than were the week before, when they scored 37 points or 39 points against Australia. So the weather has picked up down here, so it looks like it'll be a dry day. They've moved the pitch, which in some ways is a good thing, in some ways is a bad thing. But I think our guys will get a bit of a bounce from playing a little bit on a harder surface, where we can sort of play the game that we have been playing all the way through the year.
Great stuff. Cheers, Richie. Good luck tomorrow.
Problem. Thank you.
Hey, Richie, Michael here in RTE. How are you?
Hey, Michael. How are you?
Not so bad. Can you just confirm, did Ruan Quinn fail his pitchside HIA?
He was removed. He was removed by the matchday doctor. Since being removed, he's passed these HIA 2 and 3. So he's been assessed by an individual. He has to be assessed by an external doctor, and we see where he is from there.
And what's the earliest he'd be available then? Has he a mandatory sit-out period, or?
I actually don't know. There is. We're not quite sure whether he'll be out for the semi-final or not yet, if we get there.
Yeah. Okay. Have you thought about calling up anyone else? Because you've obviously lost a couple of 3 players to suspension now, which you can't replace them. But for injured players, is there anyone else you can call up?
So obviously Sam Berman has joined the squad due to an injured player. We've actually picked up one or more injuries since that. Harry West has pulled up in training, and he will now be replaced by Josh Costello, the Shannon winger, who's been in the Munster system down there.
Yeah, and just the last one for me, because we spoke to James about this before the Australia match, just about tackle technique. Is there much more you can do between the speed of the game and how players are in the heat of the battle versus the technique? Because they've obviously been training that technique, it's built in, but there's some deficiency there. There's something missing between the rules of the game and these split-second incidents.
Yeah. Nobody's intentionally tackling high. We're not teaching guys to tackle high. Guys closing space and how that changes the dynamic of the tackle is an interesting factor. And obviously the head contacts that we've had, I don't think any of them have been intentional. James McNabney's one in particular. There is other people in that vicinity which cause distraction for him on his arrival into that tackle area. It is what it is. We're not going to get too deep on it. We don't teach the lads how to tackle high. So it's really important that we keep doing what we're doing, and I think we've probably been unlucky in certain ways, the way we've lost 3 players to that. Sorry, hold on, lads. Sorry, I'm on a call. Sorry. Housekeeping trying to come in and clean the room.
Okay. Cheers, Richie. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up the online section if anyone wants to finish up, or are we okay? Okay, let's go into print.